So if you're new here, this video or these types of videos are meant for me to just kind of debrief and kind of go over everything I went throughout my week. And if you're super new here, then the whole point of this channel is to document my process of building my agency from the ground up and making sure it's profitable. So right now I just got done from uploading my newsletter, which kind of serves the same purpose, but these videos are a little less refined version, but a little bit more in depth than my newsletter. So if you want to join my newsletter and see what it's like, just click the first link in the description where it's for free. So I don't see why you wouldn't do it. It costs nothing to you. But with that, I just want to touch on a few things today. This video isn't going to be super duper long. None of these videos really are, but this one specifically isn't going to be that long either. But just going over some of the main things that kind of came up throughout this week that, looking back, gave me a lot of perspective. I think this week, out of all the weeks of since I've started posting these videos, was the week where I had the least amount of drive. I don't even want to say motivation because I feel like I haven't really used motivation to get me through things because I know motivation isn't a consistent thing. So I'd say maybe like the least amount of discipline, probably be a better word. But these past few days or week, I should say, has been just a little bit, just not the greatest. Let's just say that. So something I like to do, and I'm pretty sure I've alluded to this previously, is that at the start of every day, to ensure that I'm making the most out of every day and capitalizing on every day, like to wake up, go over the list of things I need to get done to put me to where I need to be and where I want to be, and then prioritize those in order of most to least important, and then just continue. I did this for 29 consecutive days without fail, and then the last 2 days of the month I slacked off and I ended up not doing it, partially because I had school, which is something I want to touch on a little bit more, just balancing everything, but just lack of discipline. Because the thing is with these lists, they don't have to be super duper long. It's just more about holding yourself accountable and proving to yourself that your word holds power, and that if you tell yourself you're going to do something, then you get it done, no matter if you're tired, if you're whatever. So the last 2 days I did fail myself, but a big thing that I'm trying to stress on is to not get in the habit of just being overly, what's the right word? So not getting in the habit of being overly, just trying not to be like, try not to punish myself for every little thing. Obviously, this comes with balance. I'm not just gonna sit here and say that, okay, like it doesn't matter if I do this. It doesn't really matter because there's not gonna be any like some sort of punishment, or I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. So I just don't see a use in it. So I'm just like holding perspective and being accountable. And I think that just also kind of draws to an important idea that what a lot of people or humans like to do is that you'll have that full 28 days of consistency of that you can't dispute that I showed up every single day for those 28 days, but those last 2 days that I didn't sting more than the 28 days that I did it brought me joy, if that makes sense. So if you like put into perspective like that, then like obviously the 28 days is a lot longer showing consistency. So I should value that more than the 2 days that I didn't do my list and I didn't get everything done. But in my head, I'm still like a little bit beating myself up over it. But I'm out of it now because it's a new day. And in order to capitalize on every single day, you have to leave the past in the past and leave the future to tomorrow. So I just focus on what you can control today. And I can't control what I didn't do in the past, so it's just what it is. Also, just want to highlight like the gratitude for just the process. Things won't always be super smooth, and the success isn't always going to come like overnight. It's not going to come super quick all the time. It can, but not all the time. And I'm fine with how long it takes. And I'm fine with how long it takes. And I'm not really attached to a time frame or a time period. I'm just falling in love with the entire process of bettering myself through business and just my life in general. So a big thing that stood out to me this week is I just need to do a better job of keeping track on what I'm spending money on when it comes to my business especially. So just making sure I know what all my subscriptions are, how much I'm paying every month, which cards they're coming from, and why I have them, if it's important to have them. Because just with everything that I've been doing, just like putting into perspective how to me like $20, $40, $50 isn't a lot of money to spend on like a subscription for something, especially if it brings you value. Like right now we're not making a bunch of money from clients, just to be completely transparent. So like obviously it's not going to like give that. So obviously it's not going to be super like profitable for these things up front, but in the long run then they will be. And I don't really believe in the idea of waiting to get there to the place you want to be in order to start acting like it in order to get there. How I look at it and how I see it. So just keeping better track of the money I'm spending and why I'm spending it and how I could reallocate it, which is what I was trying to get at earlier. which is that when I'm going through all these business expenses and I'm seeing, for example, I spent $20 since December on vidIQ every single month. So like on vidIQ, what it does for me, I don't use it for ideation. I don't use it for really anything. Only thing I really use it for consistently is just clipping and chopping up my videos. And even then I haven't been using it that much. So $20 for essentially nothing. So I canceled that subscription today. And then I just bought a subscription to Gling, which is a automated video editor that just goes in and does a lot of the heavy lifting and the cuts. And if I'm looking to be consistent, then it pays for itself over and over again with just the amount of time that it saves me. I just think it'd be like hypocritical of me to essentially be selling things that save people money and time and also makes them more money than be opposed to using them for myself or not to use them myself. Because how can I expect someone to buy something that I wouldn't even buy, if you know what I mean? But with that, like a big thing is that although like I don't have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to put towards my business every single day or whatever, I don't really see a use in operating from a scarcity mindset, because just like in my head, I don't see success ever stemming from scarcity. Like I've seen it around my life and everyone around me that like they operate from scarcity at times. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that as well, where just operating from scarcity, like I don't ever really see that leading to always scared of this. So you'll be super calculated, you'll be in analysis paralysis and always try to make sure you're making the best move, the very best move. Obviously you want to be making the best move, but you need to take risk along the way in order to get there, to even learn. I just want to close the video off on a note of just the biggest takeaway is just showing up when it's not easy. Show up in some capacity. If you can't show up at 150, show up at 80, show up at 70, but show up and get some shit done every single day. I'll see you guys next week.